Denver Nuggets superstar Nikola Jokić will miss at least the next 4 weeks and likely become ineligible for MVP consideration after suffering a hyperextended left knee during Monday night's loss to Miami. ESPN's Charania broke the devastating news that sidelines the three-time MVP during the heart of the season. Jokić exited late in the first half after his left knee buckled while standing in the paint during the final seconds. Teammate Spencer Jones accidentally stepped back on Jokic's foot while defending Jaime Jaquez Jr., causing the awkward step that led to the injury. The reigning MVP instantly collapsed to the ground, rolling around in pain while grabbing his left knee as Kel'el Ware scored an easy layup to tie the game at halftime. Jokić eventually stood and walked to the locker room under his own power, but he limped significantly and barely put any weight on his left leg. He didn't start the second half, was listed as questionable to return, then was ruled out. He finished with 21 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds before the injury ended his night. Nuggets head coach David Adelman expressed the gut-wrenching nature of losing any player to injury, especially someone as special as Jokić. He emphasized being more concerned about him as a person and the disappointment of going through something like that. The team will find out more details and move forward together, hoping for the best outcome. Jokić has remained relatively healthy throughout his 11-season NBA career, having played at least 69 games in every season since breaking into the league in 2015-16. This durability has been a cornerstone of his greatness, allowing him to consistently dominate while rarely missing time. A 4-week absence could see Jokić miss around 16 to 18 games, potentially returning in late January. He's appeared in all 32 games for Denver this season, but missing 18 would drop him below the 65-game threshold for league awards. That would make him ineligible for MVP consideration this season, despite leading the league in rebounds and assists while averaging over 29 points per game. The timing couldn't be worse for Denver's championship aspirations. The Nuggets sit at 22-10 in third place in the Western Conference. They begin life without the game's best player Wednesday against Toronto, facing a brutal stretch of their schedule without their offensive engine. Jokic's unique combination of scoring, rebounding, and playmaking is virtually irreplaceable. No other player in basketball can orchestrate offenses from the center position the way he does, threading impossible passes while dominating the paint on both ends. His absence forces Denver to completely reimagine their offensive approach. The fantasy basketball community is breathing a collective sigh of relief that the injury isn't more severe, though it still represents a devastating loss. The timing comes on the heels of Jokić posting the most prolific fantasy performance of the season, dropping 108 high score points after demolishing Minnesota on Christmas Day. Because the injury occurred after Week 10 rankings rocked, Jokić holds steady in this week's fantasy update. But managers scrambling to fill that massive void should target Jonas Valanciunas as the clear next man-up addition. He'll absorb a steady diet of front-court minutes and touches while Jokić is sidelined, becoming one of the most valuable waiver wire pickups available. Denver's championship window depends entirely on Jokic's health and availability. Losing him for a month during this crucial stretch tests their depth and resilience. Jamal Murray will need to elevate his game significantly, while role players must step up and fill the enormous production gap. The Western Conference playoff race remains incredibly tight, with multiple teams separated by just a few games. Denver can't afford to fall too far behind during Jokic's absence if they want to maintain favorable playoff seeding and home court advantage. The basketball world now watches anxiously as Jokić begins his recovery process. A 4-week timeline provides hope he'll return before the season's final stretch, but any setbacks could jeopardize Denver's championship hopes entirely. For breaking NBA news and updates on Nikola Jokic's recovery, subscribe to USA Today News and stay informed on every major development.